welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be we're going to be working on the C10 in this video. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to get the fuel pump wired up, the fuel sensor wired up, and I'm going to get the wire ran. I think it's the harness for the rear tail lights. I'm going to get that installed and try to get it installed as neatly as possible. So I got to get all the wires and stuff ran. I'm also going to try to get the steam port finished up in this video. I don't remember if I mentioned it in the last video or not. So but the steam port, I was going to order a Motion Raceworks steam port, but when you click on their steam port to get ready to order it, it says that if you have intake adapters, the kit may be really tight or may not work, and definitely you would have to remove the fuel rail covers, and I want to run the fuel rail cover, and I'm also running adapters, so therefore the Motion Raceworks one's not going to work for me. So I decided to kind of do my own. So I got a kit just so that I can get the fittings, but I'm gonna have to bend my own tubes like I did mention in the last video. So on my way up to the shop now, so let's see how much I get done, and I'll come back to the video once I get up to the shop. All right, so what I'm gonna do is see if I can get the fuel pump, the flex fuel sensor, and the fuel lever sensor wired up and get the wires ran up near the front. I also have to put the rear tail lights wiring in as well. And I don't remember how that goes, so I'm just gonna try to wing it with how I run it. So let me go ahead and get this laid out and get some wires ran, and then I'll do the connecting and stuff, but I'll come back to the video once I kind of get everything laid out. Okay, so I got all my wires laid out and I got them connected. I just didn't heat shrink it yet. I stuck to the same colors. The only thing I didn't have is obviously pink heat shrink or white heat shrink, but the pink wire is coming from the fuse sensor, and you got your red, white, and black coming from the flex fuse sensor, and just your red and black, which is 12 volt positive, and ground coming from your fuel pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all this heat shrunk. I got the wires ran all the way up to the front. Not sure how long they need to be, but it's better to be too long than too short. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these kind of grouped together a little bit. I got some little wire ties that I might put on it and get them wrapped up together and get them inside of the loom. All right, so I got everything heat shrunk, and looking at this tail light harness, I didn't want to buy a new harness, but someone spliced it right there, and I would hate to run all this new wiring on this thing and then I have some issues because someone didn't splice it right. So I'm going to go ahead and look at another harness. I'm not sure how much they cost, but I just think it'd be better for me just to go ahead and get a new harness. So the ends are good. It's just, I just don't like that splice right there. So, all right, so I can go ahead and loom up everything else, and worst case, I can run a small loom for just this by itself if I had to. All right, so I'm starting to loom the wires, and I just want to show you something. It's a little tool that came with the loom. I've never known of this tool before. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it before, but it's this little thing right here. You put the wire inside of it and you slide it along the loom, and it puts the wire in automatically. This thing is a time saver. I'm gonna set the camera up and show you how well it works. I've never seen this thing before, so I used to always hate having to stuff this wire inside of this loom, but this thing is a game changer. Let me set the camera up on a tripod and you can see how this thing works. All right, so I know you're kind of far away, but I needed to put the camera in a place where it wasn't gonna get knocked over by me doing what I'm doing. So basically, you just take the wire, hold it in your hand like this, hold the loom right beside it, and pull this thing this way. Again, maybe I'm late to the game on this little thing, but it is definitely a time saver. No, you can't see now. I'm just gonna finish it up. And then I'll move the camera. All right, as you see, it's loomed up and I cut the loom off, just let the ends out right there. So now I just gotta run that through the frame. But what I'm gonna do is put some electrical tape every foot or so that the wire don't come out. And then once I get inside of the frame, I'll come back to the video. All right, so I got the wire in the loom, got it ran along the chassis or the frame, going up around there. I just need to get something that I can attach the loom to the frame rail so it just don't dangle. I'm gonna look at some stuff and see, because I definitely want it to be out of the way of the exhaust system, so it's definitely got to be tucked up in there. All right, so let me jump on the old interwebs and see what I can find to get this loom all tucked up inside of the frame. All right, so in the last video, I said that I was gonna have to custom make the steam port vents. So let's go ahead and get to this now. All right, so I got this coat hanger, 2 of them actually. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend it so that I can make the hard lines for the steam port. And the coat hanger is just gonna give me a basic shape. And I'll get the line and actually take it to my house and actually bend it over there. But I just wanna get the actual shape figured out before. So, all right, I'll come back to the video once I get the shape kind of figured out. All right, so I know that may be a glare, but I just finished the steam port lines. That's the wire that I actually bent to mock up my tube, and that's the tube. And same with those two. And the last one. I might have to make some minor adjustments when I put it on, but that should at least get me close. And on these, I just used the tube flare fitting for an end. I already had the brake line left over. Well, it's aluminum line, stainless steel, I think that's what it is. I had this left over from when I was doing the brakes. So, didn't have to cost me anything on that. Just had to buy the fittings. So, all right, well, let's go up to the shop and get ready to get these on and see if they fit or not. All right, back up to the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and get these steam port lines put on. Hopefully everything works out. I'm gonna try the first one and see if I can get that to fit, and I'll come back to the video. All right, first line seems to fit okay. Got it going right there, coming right across the top of the valve cover and going to there. So it's not too bad. So let me make sure the rest of them is gonna fit. The one I'm most concerned about is the one in the front, because it's gonna have a weird angle. So let me go ahead and get those in and see. I don't have it tightened up because I still gonna have to adjust this one a little bit, but I just wanna make sure everything fit before I tighten it up. All right, not too pleased with how I had to run this, but I mean, it's gonna work. It's just not the best and not uniform like I like it. But that's my rear hose. It's a little higher than I want it, but this is gonna be up against the firewall, so you're not gonna be able to see it. came around through here. You saw this one earlier, but I had to change it up because my fitting right there the front fitting I couldn't run it from the top. So I had to run the side one right here to the top, to that top of that fitting. All right, what gave me the most trouble was this front one right here. Because I didn't have a lot of space in here and it couldn't run straight across, I had to use the flexible holes on it. So that's why you got this one right here. And that's what I had to use. And coming around through here, and then this is kind of close to that nipple, but it works. But I got the metal hard line coming up to there, AN fitting, coming to the braided line. And this is gonna go to the top of the radiator. So that's how I had to run it. I don't have everything tightened down completely yet. So I gotta get it tightened down. And not 100% sure I'm gonna stick with this, but I'll tighten it down later. Let me go ahead and let me show you what I got for the wire harness, because we're gonna get that tucked up. All right, so what I have is I bought these little magnetic things, and you can zip tie, I'm gonna zip tie the harness to it. And these little things are strong. Let me show you. It sticks there, and it's really hard to move it. So I'll get that up. But I have these grip lock ties that I'm going to use to go around there. And these are the reusable grip lock ties. So let me go ahead and get that on there and get this on the harness and get it put up like it's supposed to be. And I'll come back to the video and show you what I did. All right, so I got the little magnetic things on. I just got to cut the tips off of the wire ties, grip lock ties. But let me show you how they look upside the frame. It's tucked nice and tight up under there. All the way over. Just like I said, I just got to cut this stuff off. I might put one right there to bring it up a little bit higher. Yeah, I'll put one right there just to bring it up a little bit higher. But they work great. So, and I didn't have to drill any more holes. All right, so let me go ahead and cut these tips off and get this part wrapped up. Okay, so I got my wire harness. I know it's the same video, but it's been a couple of days now. And I have the wire harness. And I'm just gonna try to figure out how to put this on there. I took this off the truck before, but I don't remember exactly how far it went back or everything. So it's probably gonna be some adjustments that's gonna have to be made to it. All right, so I'm gonna get this into some room and run it right along the other wire harness that I just put on there. So, all right, so the harness that goes back to the rear is done. I ran it right on top of the other harness. You can see right there, going all the way up to the front and got it coiled up. So that part is done. So let's go ahead and get the fuel lines connected and get this rollover vent installed on this tank. So I'm gonna have to cut this fuel line down. I think my headers, well, I have my headers, but you'll see me install them in the next video. But the headers are gonna go down super low and this fuel line is not gonna be in the way. So let's go ahead and get this connected to the fuel rail right here. All right, so I got the fitting put on and I'm about to make the holes. I'm using still PTFE holes to go from there up to the fuel rail. So let me go ahead and get that hose cut and I'll come back for the video. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and put the ends on it. You saw when I put the ends on all the other stuff, so I'm not gonna record that. So I'll just go ahead and get it prefabbed and connected, and then we'll come back to the video. All right, so I put the wrong end on it. I had a female end, and then he designed it to put a male end on it, so I had to change the end, and I also put the heat shrink on that I forgot to do. So now I'm gonna get on to the the PTFE hose. Alright, I got the fan on, so I hope you can hear me. But I got the fuel line ran. And it's coiled up. And it's going right there. And now I'm getting ready to put the oil pressure sensor right there. Alright, so this is the ICT billet oil pressure sensor relocator. Normally it goes back there, but that plate blocks it off. So you can either drill the plate or get the relocator kit that goes right here. So it just goes right to the side of the pan right there. So I'm getting ready to put that on now. And it has the little O-ring gasket in it. So, alright, so let's go ahead and get this on and we'll move to the rollover vent. Alright, it's installed. And I'm gonna go and see if I can find me a cap to go down in there so nothing drops down in there. It's just wide open. So I'll see if I can find something just to stick in there until I can get the oil pressure sensor put in. Alright, so this view hose is kind of close to the frame here. It was rubbing up against it. So I put this little rubber edge thing on it just to help protect it a little bit. Alright, now let's get to the rollover vent. Alright, so the rollover vent goes right here. This is it right here. And the whole purpose of it is if you flip the vehicle over, fuel won't run out. So I'm gonna have to attach a hose to it, but I'll do that part later. I just want to get the vent installed. So rollover vent installed, and I got it clocked so I can run the hose right through there. Alright, so it started raining pretty bad at the shop, so I couldn't close out the video there because you wouldn't be able to hear anything that I said. So I'm closing it out in my truck now, which is still raining hard, so I hope you can still hear me. But you see we got the fuel pump wired up, the flex fuel sensor wired up, the fuel level wired up, and I got the wires loomed up and ran to the front. I also wired up the rear tail lights harness. Not even wired it up, but I got the wires ran up to the front, everything loomed up. I also got the steam port done. It's not exactly how I wanted it, but it works out. So that part is done. And I finished putting the fuel line, connecting the fuel lines to the fuel rail. So in my next video, I'm gonna work on the exhaust. I'm gonna try to get the exhaust just at least put on there. I'm not gonna weld it because I want the weld job to look pretty good, and so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna fit up everything, and even if I have to use some clamps or something just to hold it together, I might do that and just figure out how I'm gonna get someone to weld it in sections. But my goal is to try to get the whole exhaust put on in this next video. So thanks for watching. Click on that subscribe button if you haven't. Click that notification bell. Share this video, and I'll see you in the next video.